History remembers London's political giants. But what about the man who might have been the most extraordinary of them all? This man was born enslaved on a human slave ship, yet he rose to become a celebrated intellectual, a successful business owner, a talented composer, and the very first Black Briton known to have voted in a British election. This is the almost unbelievable true story of Ignatius Sancho, the forgotten Black mayor of Georgian London. Let's go back to the year 1729. Picture a British slave ship making its way across the vast Atlantic Ocean. In the dark, cramped belly of this vessel, a baby is born. But this moment of a new life is tragically followed by death. As his mother passes away on that same ship, that child now fatherless, motherless, and without a country to call his own, was destined for a life of struggle. Yet, against all odds, he would one day become one of the most influential and respected voices in all of London. His name was Ignatius Sancho. Sancho arrived in London not as a citizen, but as an enslaved child servant. He was brought to Greenwich to serve 3 unmarried sisters. His life was severely restricted. He couldn't leave the house without permission. He was forbidden from owning property. And he certainly couldn't attend school. But Sancho's thirst for knowledge was unquenchable. He found his education in the most unlikely of places. The Duke of Montague, a nobleman who lived nearby, took a keen interest in the bright young boy. He would lend Sancho books from his personal library. In that library, Sancho devoured literature, history, and philosophy at a pace that absolutely astonished the high society of London. He taught himself to read and write, mastering language and culture that was determined to exclude him. This is the foundation of the remarkable man he was to become in an era when Black lives were largely ignored and dehumanized. Ignatius Sancho became famous. He wasn't just known, he was celebrated. After the Duke's death, his widow, the Duchess of Montague, hired Sancho as her butler. This position gave him the freedom and the resources to pursue his intellectual passions fully. His letters filled with wit, sharp political commentary, and profound observations on life began to circulate among London's greatest thinkers. Playwrights, poets, and politicians sought him out for conversation and debate. They were drawn to his fearless intellect and his unique perspective. Sancho's mind captured the attention of some of the most powerful and influential figures of the time, including the famous novelist Laurence Sterne and the celebrated actor David Garrick. He wasn't just a man of letters. Sancho fully embraced the London culture and life. He became an accomplished actor, performing in plays and captivating audiences with his talent. He was also a gifted musician and composer, publishing his own compositions that were enjoyed in the drawing rooms of the wealthy. He was a philosopher, an artist, and a man of incredible culture and refinement. And then he did something that no one thought possible. He used his intelligence and his savings to make a move that would secure his place in history. In the year 1774, after years of service and saving, Ignatius Sancho and his wife opened their own grocery shop on the Charles Street in Westminster. This wasn't just a business venture, it is a revolutionary act. By owning property, Sancho, as a male householder paying rates, met the legal requirements to vote in parliamentary elections. Think about that for a moment. While the British Empire was building its immense wealth on the backs of enslaved people abroad, right in the heart of London, a Black businessman, a former servant born into slavery, walked proudly To the polling booth, he signed his name and cast his vote, becoming the first documented Black voter in British history. This single act sent shockwaves through the city. It was a powerful symbol for the growing abolitionist movement and a terrifying prospect for those who profited from the enslavement of people. He had used the system to challenge the very foundations of its racial hierarchy. When Ignatius Sancho passed away in 1780, he was a well-respected figure. London's newspapers, which rarely acknowledged the Black population, published glowing obituaries and tributes to his work and his life. 2 years after his death, a collection of his letters was published. The book, titled The Letters of the Late Ignatius Sancho, an African, became an instant bestseller. It was a powerful tool for the abolitionist cause, providing undeniable proof of the intellect, humanity, and creativity of a person of African descent. It was read across Britain and beyond, influencing the debate on slavery. But over time, his incredible story began to fade. Georgian society, and later the even more rigid Victorian Britain, found it more convenient to erase a narrative that so directly contradicted their racial myths and colonial justifications. A Black man who was a voter, a composer, a property owner, a respected intellectual, didn't fit the image they wanted to project. Today, we are rediscovering Ignatius Sancho's story. It stands as a powerful proof that Black presence in Britain is not a recent phenomenon. It is a story that is centuries old, with rich intellectual, political, and cultural contributions. The life of Ignatius Sancho is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and a challenge to the simplified histories we are often taught. This is the enduring legacy of the Black intellectual who reshaped London's understanding of freedom and who, against all odds, made his voice heard. Thanks for watching Just Real History. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more forgotten histories.